Ever since humans have been counting, somebody somewhere has been using mathematics. Maths is defined as a study of numbers, shapes and space, and there's a lot of maths in computer science. Software engineers are doing maths pretty much every single day. Or are they? I mean, short of occasionally adding up two variables, is maths really such an integral part of the day-to-day of your average software engineer? When you're writing code, a lot of what you're doing is more about the logic and the problem solving than pure mathematics. So sure, you might encounter numbers and basic arithmetic, but complex equations and advanced calculus, it's not so much part of the job. For instance, when you're writing a function to handle user input or to create a loop over a list, you're relying on logical thinking there. You're figuring out the best way to solve a problem or to make a process more efficient. And that's critical thinking more than it is just maths. But that said though, there are areas of computer programming where maths really does come into play. If you're working in fields like game development or graphics programming or data science, then you're going to see a lot more maths. Linear algebra, for instance, is essential for doing 3D graphics. Algorithms in machine learning also rely heavily on statistics and probability. If you're doing cryptography, then you're basically swimming in advanced mathematics. But the reality is, for most programmers working on web apps and things, business logic, or even mobile apps, a level of maths is usually quite basic. A bit of arithmetic, sure, some basic algebra, and maybe understanding a logarithm or two if you're working with performance optimizations. It's not actually as scary as you might think it is. So should you be good at maths to become a programmer? This is the question that comes up quite a lot. Do I need to be good at maths to be a programmer? And honestly, it depends on what you want to do. If your dream job is to work in AI and machine learning, then yeah, you'll need a solid understanding of the foundations of mathematics. But if you're building CRUD apps or creating websites, being good at maths is actually less important than being good at breaking down problems and understanding systems. In fact, a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to maths is often abstracted away using libraries and frameworks. So if you needed to calculate the shortest path in a graph, there's almost certainly a library for that, which was written and tested by people who are amazing at maths. And if you need to do something like optimize the layout of a UI, like a flow layout, again, those algorithms probably already exist and they're already baked into the tools that you're using. So what really makes a great programmer isn't their ability to solve complex equations. It's the ability to solve complex problems. Programming is about thinking logically. It's about being curious and being persistent. It's about knowing how to approach a problem, test your assumptions, and then refine your solutions. So how much maths do programmers actually use? Well, for most of us, it's not as much as you might think. Programming is far more about logic and structure and creativity than it is about calculus or trigonometry. If you love solving problems and puzzles and things like that, then you'll do just fine. And if you happen to be really, really good at maths, well, there definitely are areas in programming where you can put those skills to good use. So next time you're staring down a piece of code and wondering if you need to dust off all your maths textbooks to understand it, or remember, most of the time, what you really need is a clear head, a logical approach, and a willingness to learn. Maths is just one tool in the toolkit, and it's not the whole workshop. And hey, if you ever do find yourself knee-deep in linear algebra, then there's always ChatGPT. Just don't forget to check for the answer that it gives you. I'll see you in the next video.